a woman, Muslim, black, and a Somalian civil war refugee who lived in a camp in Kenya. Today, Ilan Omar has a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. She's also considered one of the most progressive legislators in the chamber, and her voice makes Washington nervous.
That is a ridiculous question, and
Yes or no?
No.
She's brought to light the influence that Israeli lobby, AIPAC, has in both public affairs and political life in the United States. Doing so has generated a campaign against her.
The anxiety here that's being raised is not about the concern for Jewish life, but is about the concern for Israel's viability as an apartheid state, continuing and entrenching its settler colonial encroachment. And the United States has been the leader of that effort.
The media campaign against the legislator treats criticism of Israeli politics as an attack on the Jewish community.
Criticizing Israel does not mean you criticize the Jewish people. We reject anti-Semitism just as we reject Islamophobia. Both are unacceptable. The criticism of Israel doesn't have to do with Semitism or anti-Semitism. This has to do with human rights and the human rights to treat both people equally.
Omar doesn't get much backing, even from her own side. Even Democratic socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who has become something of a media sensation, hasn't been very clear or has kept her silence regarding Omar. Meanwhile, more veteran Democrats have tried to control the situation.
What Congresswoman Omar said, I thought was wrong and hurtful. But I also want to say that what happened linking all Muslims to the terrorist attack was wrong and hurtful, and both should be condemned.
Is laid on the table.
Even though the result of this controversy saw a declaration against all kinds of hate, which Omar signed, for the press and for Congress, an anti-Muslim poster that associated the Congresswoman with the terrorist attacks of September 11th went almost unnoticed. In the same vein, the report from the United Nations Independent Commission of Human Rights saying that there were reasonable motives to believe that Israeli security forces committed grave violations of human rights and international law was largely ignored. In 2018, the Israeli army has shot at children and journalists during the Great March of Returning Gaza, killing 189 Palestinians, 35 of them just children. The number of hate groups that exist in the United States is alarming. According to the Center of Legal Studies on Poverty in the Southeast, in the year 2018, there were 1,020 such groups, of which 100 were anti-Muslim, 148 white nationalist, 112 neo-Nazi, and 51 Ku Klux Klan cells.
Alina Duarte, Telesur, Washington, D.C.